Second semifinal of the day. Cursed Hollow is the starting map in the best of 3 here at the second tournament of the X Cup Winter. Second qualifier. And we got the Hardos against Team Wah. And guys, I have to throw this out here real quickly before I continue, because the amount of stupid comments that I got recently where people complain about my pronunciation about Team Wah is actually getting a little bit ludicrous. That is literally the way that they want to have it pronounced, and if you would watch some of the live streams, you would actually know that, because every interview that we had with them, they literally do nothing else but just emulate that sound all the time. So if you don't like it, stop blaming on the streamer and just get the fuck out. There's a big X at the top right of your channel, click that and do all of us a favor. So yeah, thank you. Haters gonna hate, I know, but some amounts of stupid are just like, oof. So, great series right here. Two of the top teams. Two teams that we've seen now multiple times in not only grand finals of the qualifiers, but at the same time also in the playoffs. So Team Wah made it now also to the NA event. So obviously if you watch the channel, you know that they've done some crowdfunding. They want to go to the North American event hosted by Chili Mountain. And that happened. So it was actually absolutely insane. We had on the live stream a lot of people that chipped in and wanted to see them play against the NA teams. And that's exactly what we're getting. So Team Wah will represent Europe there. And this is the exact lineup that they're going to use there, to my knowledge. Whereas the Hardos, obviously, I mean, we've known them for a long time too. One of the super stable teams in the European scene. And these two have been pretty much consistently fighting against each other. With the Hardos, every now and again getting the upper hand against the red team, but generally speaking, it's honestly impressive at this point how strong the team around Masquerade and Dino really is. These guys have so much coordination, it is incredible, and that's why they are pretty much winning nearly everything. So they are the team to beat. If you're looking at the European scene right now, there's a lot of teams in the top 4 that are very strong, that have a lot of known names. But at this point, if you want to establish yourself as the king of the European esports scene, you have to attack Team Wah. That's the team that you have to take down. Now, this is game number 1. We have a best of 3 series on our hands. This is qualifier number 2, as already pointed out. As usual, as with the summer and the fall season, if you want to make it into the playoffs, you have to participate in these tournaments. You will get points depending on how far in the tournament you go. And then at the end of the season, the top 8 in the leaderboard will advance to the playoffs. Now, we got Rhaegar, we got Muradin, and we got Hanzo already chosen. Stukov, interestingly enough, was not picked nor banned. Now, since there's no support on the side of the red team yet, we could see a Stukov ban right here. But I am honestly a little bit shocked that Stukov was not addressed in any way, because normally he is one of the obvious choices, especially, of course, if you're going for some kind of sniper composition. He's incredibly useful, but even outside of that, his silence is just such a game changer. And we could see it here too. Now, they might, of course, go into a different support, but for now, they started things off with Junkrat, who's already great here with all of these choke points. We get Brightwing for a bit of a global setup, and Dequaza on Hogger. So, leaves us with 3 picks. Ultralisk could go into my F. Could even get a Carrigan here once again by him. Obviously, his Medivh play is also something that stands out, but outside of those 3 picks, he can play a lot more. But first, we're going to double check what Hazu and Kopen are going to take for map number 1. Again, they are one of the biggest rivals of Team Wah, so they're going to try and do their best to start the season of the X Cup Winter with a big win, because both of these teams have not participated in the first qualifier. Keep that in mind. Rexa and Lulnara. Alright, Hanzo and Lunara. And we got a Rexa here on Cursed Hollow, with Ultralisk being the last one to choose a hero. And let's have a quick look on what we're getting now. It's Genji! Okay. Brightwing Genji. Could go old school with the Emerald Wind. I don't think that's going to happen here, but still. We got Genji in, and that is our first map. Cursed Hollow, everybody. The Hardos against Team Wah. Let's get the party started. Best of 3 at the semi-final of qualifier number 2 for the X Cup Winter. Hardos against Team Wah. Game number 1. On the left side, Bad Benny on Muradin. We got Copenhagen on Rexa, Yasu on Rhaegar. And as you can see, Nick on Hanzo and Hazu himself on Lulnara. Right side of the map, the red team with Dequaza on Hogger. We got Masquerade on Jojo, Dino on Junkrat, Ultralisk is playing Genji, and Nagrom on Brightwing. Again, the red team will go to NA. They will play at the LAN in Miami. So it should be a pretty fun tournament, honestly. It's actually amazing that we're going to have an offline event, and it's even better that we have also some cross-regional play with one European team at least making the trip. Some of the NA teams have already announced that they are coming, so it should be a fantastic event. If you want to have any additional information about it, you can obviously Google that stuff, and once that I'm there, I'm also going to tweet more about it. So you can either follow me on Twitter at Khaldor for some information, or again, just check it out. Miami Defrost lands, all happening at the first weekend of February, so soon TM. And I'm going to be in Miami as well, commentating that together with Michael Udall, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Either way, for now, what we're having here is a little bit of a poke in the mid lane and a bit of aggression with this 3 versus 3. Keep in mind that these are 2 of the best teams in Europe, but we also haven't seen the boys play against each other. I think it was ever since the playoffs of the X Cup fall, honestly. So, yeah, all the way up at the top. Copenhagen, he's going to play it out against Brightwing for now. That ape. And in the mid lane, Genji. It's gonna be the battle of the Shimada brothers for sure here. So we got Hanzo against Genji, and both of them already zipping around. Nick obviously trying to just calculate every single shot here. With Benny and the rest of the team realizing that they might be able to sneak this. So a big risk that they're taking, but if it pays off for them, that would be a huge win. Question is who takes it. They might have to back off though, because I'm not quite sure if they can really claim this one, but they're still trying. Hogger's pogging, but he's low, and he's not the only one. Everybody's actually about to die here, and Genji's trying to capitalize on that. Misha the only one to fall, together with Rega, and team takes the early kills. Genji is still chasing, but gets stopped cold by a Stormbolt. Gotta say though, it could have backfired even more than it did. Down at the bottom of the map, Hardos is also in a bit of trouble. So is Dino. So, one single kill. That's all that happened here. But a slight lead in experience that gives team the level 4 talent just a little bit sooner. Okay, so we have in the mid lane Nick and Yasuo trying to defeat the camp that everybody just thought about. And just to put this in perspective real quickly. If they don't go for the camp, they would go for their own camp. So they lost not only one hero, they also lost a lot of time in that encounter. And that's a big advantage now for the red team, since they are slightly ahead in experience through all of it. And they didn't have to deal with any pressure plays from the Hardos. Whereas they can now put more pressure onto the mid lane. First of all with that mercenary camp, and now that has been defeated, they have a couple of heroes that can easily move in, while the Hardos is trying to take their own bruiser camp. So that's already a structural advantage, a small one, granted, but it's there, and it gives the red team a bit of a leg up in that situation. Now we got 12 Stormbolts, or 12 stacks on the level 1 for Muradin. First Tribute is now also up on the map, and the teams can both fight for it. The problem that the Hardos are facing is that level 7 is soon going to kick in for their opponent, and that little power spike is normally enough to grant you the Tribute, or at least give you an angle on the fight. Unless, of course, you get a kill. And that's what they were trying to pull off here, but they couldn't quite. Yeah, red team paid attention and was able to make it. So there it is, the channel. One single grenade is all they needed, but they're actually falling back. And look at that, Rega. I mean, Yasuo's getting caught on behind enemy lines. They give up the Tribute, but they get the doggy. It's only a matter of time. So yeah, a couple of grenade plays definitely displacing him. Problem is, it took them so long that the blue team was using all that, like the big window of time opportunity that was taken for them to take the wall down. So I'm not sure if that kill was really worth it. The death timer is pretty much non-existent. Rega's going to be back in 5 seconds, and as you can see, this entire wall has more or less been destroyed, minus the gate. It's a little bit of an awkward beginning into the game, but the lead and experience is still there for the red team. So we have level 7 talents for both. But now they're also going for structural damage. The next Tribute is spawning. Slightly advantageous position for the Hardos. If they can delay it until level 10, I don't really think it's going to happen. Gonna be around level 9 once the Tribute spawns, and delaying it by an entire level is pretty much not possible. But either way, play at the top is also eliminating another tower. So, talking about structural pressure, red team is doing extremely well. They've taken down a lot already here. Both of them are trying to play very aggressive around this. As mentioned, the position is much more advantageous to the Hardos than it is for Team They're trying to interrupt still. If they can delay until 10, then that's a freebie. If they can get a kill, that would be even better. Muradin is hopping out just a second because he gets polymorphed here. And Nick is the one to go straight up for the channel. 2 tributes, therefore, for the Hardos. No tribute for the red team. But they're again attacking the mid lane. And Rhaegar is here. Yasuo able to move out. But they are eating a ton of damage. It's not only Rhaegar that gets focused. Ultralisk is all over the place, just getting those shurikens in and trying to get Nick low. And of course, Rhaegar didn't look too good either. So they are pressuring for the fort right there with the level 10. And on level 10, we get the blink heal, we got the shockwave. So they have a great opportunity here to do damage to the middle. While up at the top, Hogger is also starting to pressure a second fort. Now, right now, the Hardos are slowly but steadily losing out on all these lanes. Part of this is because of the level 10 ability, part of this is because the red team just plays it incredibly well. But now that we have the heroic abilities for the Hardos too, we can now of course try to bring this back. And there's some pressure for Team 2. They need to take that tribute now. So they need to claim this one. And they do. So there's no curse yet, but it's boss time, baby! Yeah, do we see anybody go for the invade though? Because they're definitely starting to sniff this one out. But Benny is trying to buy them more time, and I think he can. Riptire is moving in. There's Hogger. He holds the spot, and they kill Lunara. Beautiful kill. And now they're absolutely crushing here. Oh my god. That is nearly a 5-man wipe, and they steal the boss. That is a disaster for the Hardos. And we're going to take another look at this. I mean, look at this. Lunara gets blown up instantly, and then they just destroy the entire team. Bad Benny does too, so it's indeed a 5-man wipe. But that was incredibly well played. 7 kills to 0. The boss stolen. It would have honestly been a big setback for the red team if they would have lost the hero here and not gotten the boss. But as it stands, they are starting to take full control of this game. They've destroyed the first fort. There's no doubt in my mind that they will soon also take the top side, since it's so incredibly low that any push here will result in another destroyed structure. Yasuo is at least attempting to get some camps for them. But yeah, now Copenhagen is also in trouble. He has 8 stacks on his level 4. He didn't even get any globes here. That's how heavily he was dominated at the top lane. And now they're just aiming for the next boss. 8 kills to 0. Yeah, these guys are crazy. They're just so good. It's just honestly impressive. They are so well coordinated, and I guess at this point, of course, they are also starting to specifically train for the event in Miami. So they should be on top of their game, and indeed, as you can see, they are. But it's still incredible if you consider who they're up against, right? I mean, it's 8 kills to 0, a 2-level lead at this point, on a map where the Hardos are usually quite strong. So it's not like they're going up against some quick match team or whatever. This is one of the best teams in Europe, but they are being made look silly by the team in red. Now maybe they can bring it back, but there's the deny and there's the kill. Muradin is down. He's gone immediately. They're trying to save him here with the ancestral healing. Now that didn't really work out for them, did it now? Boss is pushing through the top. There's a bit of pressure in the middle thanks to this camp here. But with that said, the first play for keep is happening at the 9-minute mark. And they might not get the entire thing, but I don't see a reason why they wouldn't at least put some damage on it. We have a 3-level advantage right now. 3-level. Genji jumping in again. Boss is already doing some work. And that is a curse, everybody. Brightwing is there. Is going for the channel. And the curse is hitting the Hardos. So now that keep is not going to do anything, and they can immediately start to trigger the team fight. Hazu is low. He's nearly down. He just has to hop away. They're going for Benny. And there comes the Genji play. Going for the Dragon Blade, taking the kill. Yasuo was baited in deep. Ultralisk, that master baiter, just sits at the front, masterfully presents himself as a target, and then Rhaegar jumps into deep. He dashes out. Rhaegar gets baited in, and that results in a quick additional kill. They got level 16, and I swear to God, for a second they were thinking core. They were definitely for a moment just thinking, boys, couldn't we just? 11 kills to 0. The fort in the mid lane destroyed. All 3 forts are gone. And with another 19 seconds on the curse, they're moving into the middle right here. I mean, boy, this is getting nasty. Damage output, Hogger, 38,000. We got 30,000 for Genji, 30,000 for Hanzo, by the way. It's the Hanzo and Genji battle. And there it is, the Riptide. Oh, that could have been bad if the Riptide connects. But yeah, they got destroyed just as the Shockwave was connecting. They want the kill. They need a kill. You don't want to lose the game without even getting a single kill. I mean, you don't want to lose the game, period. But now they lost Hanzo and they lost Muradin, so they're losing even more ground. That boss should be back up soon too. Yeah, it's a minute and then we're gonna have the boss back. Bottom keep is also at 50% HP. Absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bananas. 13 kills to 0. This is like, damn, son. And the Hardos, they're hiding. They're just sitting there like, yeah, we kind of want to wait for level 16. But that's 2 levels away, boys. Won't be able to give up the map that long. Then again, technically, I guess they could. The problem isn't really the curse and the tributes. The problem are the bosses. 20 seconds on this one. And what are you going to do? Fight this without a level 16 talent? I highly doubt it. I mean, Hanzo can zone it a little bit. He went meme strike, so he can meme that pretty hard. But they already go for Bad Benny again, and he's just jumping out. It's just like, oh boy, I don't want to be here. Neither does anyone else in the team. They realize this is not going to end well for them unless they are somehow able to now catch somebody off guard. If team, wow, overcommits a little bit, gets too cocky and then moves in, then that's definitely a chance to turn it. But right now, not that much. Great ult, by the way. That was a fantastic Hanzo ult by Nick. That did way more damage than they expected. So nicely done. But it still is not enough to net them a few kills. Instead, Yasuo is getting shockwaved. He's down. That's another kill. We're looking at 14 kills and still a 3-level lead. The boss is up and there's just zero reason not to take it at this point. I mean, why wouldn't you? You have a talent lead. You have a numbers advantage. They are taking it. They're taking the boss, and that means that the bot keep is now going to get destroyed too. Yeah, Ultralisk is getting pinged because he gets caught by the boss. First rule of Heroes of the Storm, always move out of circles. Somewhere in the distance, Alex Straza is shedding a silent tear. Yeah. But outside of that, it's true. There's not really a whole lot of reasons why you would stay in a circle. There's a couple of exceptions. I mean, the Sanctification, I guess, at the end of the day is also counting into that category. But the rule of thumb, especially if the circle is from your opponent, make sure that you get the hell out of it. With nobody pushing, though, I guess that we're going to see that key is going to make it. There's a lot of resources that have to be used by the Hardos to make sure that the boss doesn't take the keep. And those are being used to, well, the time is being used to take more camps. There's also another boss up at the top, and this one is going to go for the core directly. Obviously, half of the play is to reach level 20. So that's going to be important for them. But, yep, bottom of the map. Nocrom is starting to move in as they're going for a potential kill. And Jojo is trying to jump out. No level 20. There's again the meme strike, but they save everybody. Bright Spring is still Gucci. Masquerade gets attacked. There's a lot of CC, but they're trying to turn it on Muradin. And they might get the kill, especially since now also Rexa is in trouble. He's not the only one, by the way. Arzops is also in deep shit. Down goes Lunara. Hanzo is dead too. And they're just trying to go for a kill. If they can at least kill Masquerade once. Oh, but Genji, 1, 2. And he goes for the full kill setup. Nicely done. 5-man wipe once again. Genji zipping, slicing, dicing, getting the resets and getting the kills here. Masquerade absolutely popping off. And he literally would have been able to kill all 5 if not for Brightwing, that old kill stealer. Nicely done here. Team with a victory against the Hardos with 19 kills to 0. Pretty impressive. GG and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Boy, that was an ass-kicking and a half. Team with an incredible performance. I mean, perfect game. Not a single death on their side, and they didn't lose even a fort. So, yeah, that was crazy. If you can make the Hardos look like they're a quick match team, then you are definitely in a league of your own. These guys are crazy. They're really impressive, absolutely incredible. So in the semi-final, at least, they got off to a good start. Obviously, there's still the chance that the Hardos just had a little bit of bad luck. The coordination didn't really flow, and that now they're going to turn things around. But the red team, they are just incredible. If you want to watch clean Heroes of the Storm, this is where it is at pretty much. Now, don't forget, this is the semi-final. And on the grand final, there's still another series to come. We already have the Chili Donuts in the next, in the next match, no matter who advances here. But the Donuts looked also quite strong. They looked really, really good today. Now, you could argue that they went up against weaker opponents, obviously, but then again, at the same time, they played very clean games, some of them against the second place finisher of the first qualifier of last week's tournament. Now to the Spider Queen, obviously very different map as well, a little bit smaller, lanes closer together, wave clear very important, and of course interrupts against any kind of turn-in that you could see here. So we got Johanna, banned, so is Varian, so no sniper compositions here. I guess technically you could also go... Genji, Maiev, both heroes that I could see being targeted at some point. Brightwing banned. Fruit Fly, get rid of it. Kill the Fruit Fly. Always get rid of it. And what's the first pick? Rhaegar's up, Stukov is up. So if you want to go for one of the two supports, you definitely can. But this is one of those weird situations where you don't even have to. Because if you're okay with either of the two, then you can just go for a different first pick and then take whatever your opponent doesn't, or even ban it out. But they want to have Stukov. He's just so damn good. There's obviously a chance now that maybe Nuborg even gets taken away. They were, by the way, the ones that banned Varian. So there's that. But could be a Rhaegar pick now for the Hardos. Junkrat is also still up. So Junkrat is up. It can be taken here. Great hero for Tomb of the Spider Queen. Usually banned. And they go Blaze, and they go for the Rat. Alright, Mayhem and interrupts. Grenades everywhere. Whenever you want to turn in, grenades everywhere. And obviously, the usual. Any kind of stun gets followed up by displacement. You can interrupt a lot of the plays that are being made on the other side. And against Stukov, you get in a position and close enough. You can also try and screw with him a little bit when he's attempting to set down the lurking arm against your team. But with a double pick here, Vala, ooh, yes. Vala and Uther. So, well, the stage is set. We're gonna get very likely an auto attack Vala with Stukov and Uther to support her and keep her alive, with Uther on level 20, likely going to head into a Divine Shield. And since that Divine Shield would also go really well with Maiev, she gets banned out first. Now, all of this is still working out with Genji, so if they want to run Genji here too, they could. You need a side laner. Uther is obviously doubling as a main tank, so you don't necessarily need another one here. But Vala, if you play her well, she can absolutely murder. So, yeah, great start into the draft for them. And here comes Stitches. Yeah, it's actually a good pick too. Stitches is always one of those X-Factor picks that can screw up your comp. Anything like this, anything that can really just like throw a wrench into your plans is a good ban, just technically speaking. Junkrat has his displacement as mentioned. Stitches obviously has some displacement of his own, just in a different way. Goes full Scorpion on you. And there's Diablo and Hanzo. It's not a bad comp that they're playing, especially for this map, but at the same time, you're looking over towards that Vala and you're already thinking, oh my god. I mean, again, they have 3 heroes, and I'm already looking at it and like, oh god, I don't want to look. It's like, can I peek a little bit? So yeah, what's the last 2 picks? What is Ultralis going to go for? And what is Dequaza going to play here? What's the side laner? Rirel and Carrigan. Okay, so Uther potentially also with the Divine Shield on Carrigan. And Rirel on top of that. It is terrifying. These guys are just... I feel they could literally go for a game with like Murky, Probius, Gazlo. They can make Artanis dangerous, okay? That's where we are right now. If they would pick an Artanis, I would also be like, oh my god, it's gonna be brutal. And my opinion about Artanis in competitive play is, I think, widely known. And there's Ana. So, we got Ana, Yasuo, Trying to go for the sleep darts. Guys, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's see what they can do. The Hardos, they got to bring it back. They at least need a couple of kills after they weren't able to kill a single hero on the first map. Tomb of the Spider Queen is map number 2. The semi-final. Let's see if the red team can advance without losing a map, or if the Hardos are starting a comeback here in the second game of the series. Hardos against Team Bad Benny on Diablo. Hazu ops on Junkrat for the second game. Yasu on Anna. Nick on Hanzo. And Copenhagen on Blaze. Nagrom for the red team is playing Stukov. We have Ultralisk on Carrigan, Dainu on Vala. Just waiting for the level 1 choice. Auto attack would be kind of neat, but you could in this case obviously also play it out with multi-shot or even an arrow build. Dequaz on Urel, and Masquerade is playing Uther. Okay, let's get this show on the road. With Dainu playing Vala, most of the time we see the auto attack style. Going for that gambit. And there's the multi-shot. Okay, so they go into multi-shot. That gives them a bit more wave clear. They were lacking that slightly. I would have loved to see another auto attack. It's so weird for me, by the way, to say this. You have no idea. I was hating for years and years and years on Creed of the Hunter because that talent was just horseshit. It was absolutely garbage compared to the alternatives. The entire thing was useless until the late game. And you never won a game with Vala and Creed of the Hunter. Because of Creed of the Hunter, you always won a game despite using it. And then Blizzard changed it, and it was actually kind of nice, because they pretty much did what I said for years. I said, if you want to make the talent viable, you have to give it some kind of benefit before you are done stacking it completely. And that's exactly what they did. They even added, of course, that new Gambit mechanic, which added another layer on top of it. But now that talent is useful. And now it's incredibly fun to see a Vala player trying to get good stacks together while not dying. It's a pretty cool interaction, and I really enjoy it. So these days it's weird to me to say, hey, it's kind of sad that it didn't go for an auto attack style. So, well, there it is. But we have now our second game, obviously, and Vala decided that they needed a bit more wave clear. And it's not like the multi-shot is bad. The multi-shot build is still incredibly strong, so is the arrow build. Vala has so many good ways that she can be played right now, and it all depends on your team composition, on what your opponent is doing, and of course, obviously, which map you're playing on. Now, this is actually a very good example of good balancing. There's a lot of things where you look at it and you're like, Blizzard, what have you been smoking today? Maybe they shouldn't have made Lead Weagle in California, because, yeah, that didn't do you guys any good. But that's an example of, okay, this made sense. This is actually a hero that you might at some point have to tweak a couple of numbers a bit, but just the general direction is definitely a good one. A lot of versatile builds that can be used and are being used, even though there's some that might be a little bit stronger than others. But either way, Diablo gets killed. He's the first blood in the game. So at least for now, Team is continuing where they left off in game number 1. Even getting some tower damage in. And going for the pick pings here. We have our 1 versus 1 at the bottom of the map. And yep, here we go. So 5 stacks for the fire at will right here. We got the arsenal as the follow-up, as you would expect. And they are doing a lot more damage than they should here. Yes, there's the multi-shot. 1 more shot on the tower and that one goes down too. But with the gate being destroyed, they now also have good vision behind it. So nice for them. And that is a good start, especially when you get that first Web Weaver wave. Then you can start to do some serious work with it. And also, by the way, they are ahead in gems by a significant margin. 17 gems, that's a very big lead. And they have now enough to turn in already. Whereas the Hardos are 17 short. So that's a big problem. Hazel's the first one to turn some in, together with, by the way, Urel at the bot lane, which is another problem, because the bot laner is normally the one that struggles the most turning in. At least Copenhagen is winning his lane here against Urel and is able to take the wall down, so the blue team is also getting some structural damage done. It's good for them here. But everybody's still waiting for the big engage, you know, for Carrigan making a bit of a play. Jet propulsion, and there's the kill. That's exactly what we've been talking about with the displacement, thanks to the mine. And that's the first kill for the Hardos in this best of 3 series. So already, right from the start, they're in a better position than they were on map number 2. We got the Hot Pursuit on level 7, also the Growing Infestation after the initial low blow. And they Quasar down to the bot lane. Once again, off we go. And another kill. Look at that, the Hardos. I was just about to say, as long as they can stay alive, but as it turns out, Hanzo at least is down. Diablo was trying to escape. Granny also in a bit of trouble, but she got away. And Carrigan together with Urel killing Diablo at the top, and the gems are lost. Yes, Houston, we have a problem. Red Web Weavers are the first to descend. That in and of itself is not really a disaster, but that you've lost this many gems, that is definitely problematic. So 3 kills to 2, tiny inexperience for the red team, but something that can be extended now if they play their cards right. Especially at the top lane, you can already tell that they are attempting to go for the fort here. In an ideal world, they're going to try and take that, or they're going to go for a kill against Dibbles. Just roaming between the two lanes a bit and putting the pressure on, making it a bit harder for the Hardos to decide where they want to go is a good move. That was actually clutch too. If Benny gets the flip, Hazo already had the mine ready. He could have moved Dino straight up behind the wall into the range of the fort. But there's the stun from Uther here, and Masquerade really paying attention to what's going on, allowed him to stun out Diablo, and that ruined the entire play. But that was definitely a tricky one. And Blaze dying. I think he lost a significant amount of gems there, didn't he? So top fort is down. What the fuck is happening here, guys? They are taking 2 forts with the first objective thanks to the level 10 timing. 2 forts are gone, and they are closer to a second turn-in than the Hardos are to their first. That's just bonkers at this point. Yeah, that's just absolutely bonkers. Wow. I mean, that's kinda nuts. 4 kills to 2, heroic abilities are in play. And Team is looking just amazing here once again. Now it's level 10 versus level 10. At least the Hardos already got a couple of kills. They might bring this back. Again, they have some good combos. We already saw some really nice meme strikes in the last game. So Nick with his Hanzo play can have quite the impact here if they can control one of the choke points properly. But off we go. We got the jump onto Nick. Diablo in trouble, but Benny needs to be careful. Carrigan, on the other hand, is in... Yeah, she's in deep shit. That Divine Shield at the top is at least helping out Vala. Hazu gets killed, so they got a counter kill, but Dino falls too. Triple kill for the Hardos. They're going hard here, and they go for another one. Okay, that's a little bit more like it. The Hardos, that's exactly where you expect them to be. They're fighting back. They're not just simply sitting there getting murdered, but they actually put up a fight, and now they pulled ahead in kills, and they're going to pull ahead in experience too. Now, their structural situation is still dire. They have to take some forts down too, but that's exactly the kind of play that we need from them. Some good and well-coordinated kills. Hazo also playing well with the mine. They displaced Vala and put her into fort range, and then they could get the kill there. Now it's a turn-in finally for the Hardos, and Team they have to fight for this one. They gotta fight for this one. They're not just gonna get an easy 2-0. 16,000 damage for Vala. 28k for Hanzo. And, well, by now we have all the way up at the top. Junker doing his thing. Again, a good meme strike here. Carrigan with the combo though. And now Urel is also moving in, creating a bit of space. Jet Propulsion still connected with Stukov. Was behind the gate already. First Web Weaver already taken down. They're moving to the top to deal with the next one. So far it's only Ultralisk here. Urel is at the bot lane. Yeah, but they slow them down. I like it. Bad Benny moving into the choke point and trying to make sure that they can't easily go towards the top and defend. Oh, well played. They should be able to get one fort. Not quite as good as what Team did a couple of seconds ago, but still, it counts, and they have a lead in XP, which in this case helped them to an early level 13, and that of course played a bit of a part in this one too. Masquerade is also dead. I honestly think he could have maybe even gotten the Divine Shield through there. I didn't really think that he would for a moment live with pretty negative HP, but there's the kill. And they're trying to go for the follow-up. The Hardos, look at that, they actually got some momentum. Yeah, Now Dainu is getting serious damage out against Diablo. Thankfully for the big boy, Vala doesn't have her level 16 yet. Actually, she might not go Manticore. With the full... We've seen Frost Shot. If they think they need a bit more control here, Frost Shot is actually something that you can go for if you want to. But they're starting to stabilize a bit. Now, there's still a 2-kill gap between the Hardos and the red team. But obviously, the gems are still there. They could go for the second Web Weaver wave and for the turn-in. 14 versus 14 for now. Big shove. Jeez. Nice angle for Stukov. Shoved him all the way towards the left side wall. But if they control the point and get their turn-in, that would help a lot. The Quasar alone could make it happen. Now he's just trying to pressure them. They're obviously going to interrupt here, but Urel is in a really good spot. She has a lot of survivability. Very tanky, very hard to take down. And he can easily rotate down to the bottom. The vision is there. Nick is going to go for the interrupt, but they have to be on their toe, because these plays can be made over and over and over again. And the Quasar's already doing exactly that. And that opens up opportunities like this one. Ultralisk hiding in the corner. They force the bunker. The meme strike is out too. And they can still try and follow. Look at the Quasar. Jumping in already. Creating also a bit of space for Dino, who popped the strafe and got the damage out. They go for Benny. Another turn-in could happen right now. And Urel is already on it. And this time it's gonna happen. There's the turn-in, and they're looking for kills too. If they can get the kills here, just as the Web Weavers touch ground, that would of course be the dream. But they are both close to level 16, so that's the next big step here. Get to level 16 and try and run an advantage if you can. Jet Propulsion is missing. Engage from Bad Benny also didn't work out for him. Urel, on the other hand, she's jumping in deep. Can she try and go for... Yeah, big hit, big stun! And Ana saving the day, at least for now. But the fight isn't over yet. They're still following, and they go for Granny. And Yasuo is dead. Ana down. Manticore is the choice. Diablo, watch out. In addition to that, we got the Universal Carrier. And of course, the push straight for the fort in the middle. Whereas at the top lane, they're already attempting to open the gate for the keep. 16 on both sides, a bit of a blind combo attempt by Karrigan, which didn't hit anything. But they still work through that wall. All the forts are gone. Team still has 2. And here we go. I mean, they have vision already, and the side wall is open up, but they're actually falling back at this point. Keep that boss on the top lane also in mind. That is still starting to become attractive. And Bad Benny gets caught once, twice, and that's Urel driving a wedge between the red blue team, trying to put more pressure on Bad Benny. Bunker had to be used too. They're getting put into a bad and awkward spot time and time again. It's honestly a little bit scary, especially since the red team has another turn-in and they're going for it immediately. Now Dainu needs to deliver too, but they get that turn-in. So the good news for the Hardos is that they are losing less gems now. But the Web Weavers are going to connect. And yep, the boss at the top can't be taken. So for now, Urel is already pushing the bot lane. We had Karrigan activate the camp on the right side of the map so that they can use that together with the Web Weaver to push for the middle. But it's a bit tricky. Then again, the red team also needs to do some work with this. They have the structural advantage, but if you get your objective, you also want to translate that into a bigger lead. So open up some walls in an ideal world, try and make a play for the keep. The Quasar double checking over here. Yeah, both teams are double checking those vents. Bot lane gets easily defended. The Quasar is trying to slow it down a bit to buy time for the rest of the team to push through the middle. And they opened up the entire wall. They obviously have the camp here too, so it's double whammy that they're running. Can they take the keep down though? That's the question. Vala already dancing around it, getting good damage in against Copenhagen. Blaze is low, Diablo with the engage, and immediately Stukov is there. Get the hell away from my Vala. But the defense is solid. We're able to defend. Slight experience lead. And again, the isolation attempt against Diablo, but this time it might backfire. Yeah, the Quasar saved here too. Strafe is in. Maybe a jet propulsion attempt. Yep, that connects with Uther. Vala, on the other hand, gets an enormous amount of damage out, and now they go for Blaze, trying to force the bunker once more. Copenhagen is moving in, drops the bunker. Benny also gets nano boosted here, and oh my god, that could have been a kill. Good divine shield for Masquerade. But they're all low. Dodged out on the damage. Nicely done, but they still get the Stukov kill. Stukov is down. Nick is poking even further. But finally we got a game on our hands. This one, way better. We're asking the questions earlier if maybe the Hardos were just off to a bad start. And it seems like this game, at least thus far, confirms it. Way better performance than in the previous game. Now, to be fair, they are still behind in structure, significantly behind. But they have the lead in kills, and they're going to take a small lead in experience once again. So yeah, good start in the second game now. Urel hasn't died yet. The Space Goat, obviously. 60,000 damage for Vala. Hanzo with 75k pretty much. And Bad Benny is, of course, playing aggressive now. He's trying to push them back, zone them out, buy more time, create space for the Web Weavers, which didn't really work out this time. Adequaza should still be fine here, but they're still pushing for Fort. They know they need to take some structures, and they want the kill! And they get it. Yes, they get it. The Riptire from Junkrat. He didn't have the option go for the ult there, so it was well done. They got the kill, and now the Web Weavers are, of course, doing even more work. At the bot lane, another Fort has fallen, and now the Hardos are not only even in structures, more or less, but they also have an early level 20. Yeah, they are all of a sudden in the driver's seat in the second game of the best of 3 series. Copenhagen pushing. There's the fortified bunker now taken, as the teams are locking in their Storm Talons. And we got the Dragon Awakens. And now the party really starts for Hanzo, of course. Now he gets the cooldown reduction. That's where the real fun is. And I guess we can definitely say they're gonna get this keep. Can't we? Maybe not. Next minion wave. I mean, they got 12 seconds for Uther. Should be able to get this one. Then again, Hazu. Alright, Junkrat was in trouble, but Granny is the first one to fall. She got the nano boost in. Here's the 20, and now Uther is back too. That was a clean engage without level 20 talents, and without Uther, they go for Blaze. Oh boy. Not only do they save, they keep everybody. They go for the kills, and they somehow all survive. Like, what? Did you see how close it was? How did nobody die there? Blaze after Granny is the second victim. And then that whole situation with Diablo where somehow he dies and everybody else is still alive. They immediately move towards the top to take the boss. 10 kills, 2-9. Exactly. But boy, that was once again just such a coordinated gameplay from the red team. These guys are just so damn good when it comes to these situations. When the pressure is on, they just pop. They just absolutely pop off. Make the plays, find the target, the one that they can take. They saved the keep. It is still standing, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So now they're coming through the top, taking the keep down, and of course the goal will be to go for core. I mean, they got the boss and we're 17 minutes in. Strong enough. 16 seconds for Hanzo. That's the play right here. They can try and take it. The Quasar is a bit low though, so you gotta be careful. Bunker's already out. 6 seconds for Hanzo. They might not be able to get it. They should be able to at least do some damage, but I'm not so sure if they can really go for gold here. Core, on the other hand, is already falling. There's the cooldown reduction. Yeah, Masquerade gets attacked, still has the Divine Shield, needs to be careful. Core is down to 80%, and Granny is down again. Ana down, Blaze is dead, so is Urel, but still the Core is at 40%, and this is not looking good. Uther has fallen, so they at least got him. How long, that's the question, and they're just going full on for the right click. That has to be game, guys. Dino is stutter stepping around it, and that's the 2-0 victory for Team Wah against the Hardos as they move on to the grand final.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.